And we are back, and we just finished watching 2010's delightful Kick-Ass, rated R with a runtime of 1 hour and 57 minutes. This is directed by Matthew Vaughn, with writing credits for the screenplay, at least, to Matthew Vaughn and Jane Goldman. This is from a comic book by the great Mark Millar. And I guess John Romita Jr. is
He's the artist.
He's the artist, right? Okay.
I have that comic, actually.
Maybe G will want to read it.
It's in my parents' basement.
Okay. Oh, never mind then. This is, according to IMDb, Dave, I'm not even going to say the last name, is an unnoticed high school student and comic book fan who one day decides to become a superhero, even though he has no powers, training, or meaningful reason to do so. This is tagged as dark comedy, superhero, teen comedy, and action comedy and crime. I guess, yeah, maybe.
Yeah, action comedy. Yeah.
Action comedy and teen.
Yeah.
There are a lot of young people in this.
The violence is over the top comical.
Over the top. You and I saw this in the theater, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
And a fun time was had by all.
Yep.
This stars AaronTaylor-Johnson as Dave / Kick-Ass, the young man who decides just out of the blue that he's been thinking about it. Why don't more people become superheroes? And he decides to take the plunge. This is in the age of MySpace.
Yeah.
And
MySpace, flip phones,
and early social media content. Yeah. And he becomes an overnight sensation, much to the chagrin of the D'Amico crime family, headed up by the always lovely Mark Strong.
Oh, yes. Mark Strong is always great. Well, his first outing was not successful.
Yes. No. But still, he gets an E for effort, right?
Yeah.
He got stabbed in the stomach.
Yeah. And then they replaced his bones with...
No, he just had a lot of metal, like pins and stuff in his bones, and he had nerve damage. So now he was able to take a beating, which I guess is a prerequisite if you're going to fight crime with your hands.
Sure,
you're basically getting the crap kicked out of you.
Yeah. I'm going to go around the table and get impressions. Firstly, I would like to thank the children for watching the film and not looking at their devices at all.
My phone was upstairs charging.
It looked like everybody was highly, highly entertained, which makes me happy.
Yay.
And yay. I'm going to start with you, Olive G. What'd you think of the film?
I thought it was great. I liked it.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite character?
Probably Hit Girl.
Hit Girl, played by the lovely Chloe Grace Moretz.
Was that like her first role?
I don't think so, but she was so tiny.
She was tiny, yeah.
Yeah, she was like 11 years old, right?
At least.
She was a little kid when she was in that movie.
No, the first thing she ever did was something called The Guardian in 2004. So she was even younger.
And there's only 2 episodes of it.
Yeah. Oh, she was in the Amityville Horror movie, I guess, with Ryan Reynolds. And she was in an episode of My Name is Earl. Remember that show?
That was a fun show.
It was a fun show.
My name what?
My name is Earl.
There's
where that Margot Robbie lookalike who was before Margot Robbie is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jamie Presley, I believe.
Yes. But also Samara Weaving.
She is. I mean, there must be some sort of factory where they're coming out
of. Where they're making these women.
Yeah.
Okay. Back to this. Why did you like Hit Girl, Olive G?
Oh, she's cool and she was good at fighting. She's better than Kick-Ass.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Without a doubt. I would love if you girls trained and became killing machines like Hit Girl.
Yeah, well, too bad. We are literally never physically active ever.
I mean, you could make a change in that. That's all I'm saying. What did you think?
That's never gonna happen.
What did you think of?
It's not for me.
All right, let's keep it moving.
What did you think of Dave? Kick-Ass.
He was okay, I guess.
He was just okay, right?
Yeah.
What did we think of Marty and Todd, Dave's friends? Dave's silly friends. That was Marty and that was Todd.
Todd was the biggest third wheel ever.
Yes.
I'm so sorry for you, Todd.
Yeah,
he was in love
Then
with Hit
again,
Girl.
you shouldn't be thirsting after 11-year-old girls. So.
That's true too. I cannot. That's absolutely true. Gee, what'd you think of the film?
It was fun.
Were you surprised at the level of violence?
Getting all fancy there.
I'm getting fancy.
Please just talk like a normal person.
What'd you think of the level of violence in this film?
I mean, it wasn't bad. I've seen worse.
I feel like,
It was more comical. It wasn't brutal. Or I guess it was brutal, but it wasn't like horrifying.
Yeah. It was definitely over the top. I think the first time you and I had seen it in the theater, we were like, woo.
Yeah, well,
she's cussing.
She's cussing. Yeah, I mean, the first time you see her, she just drops the C word. And then she's just impaling people. She just lops that dude's leg off and stabs him. She's got it's like that double-sided katana blade. She's just spinning it.
Spinning like a top.
That's a great intro for a character.
Yeah, yeah. As good as the guy from Iron Monkey?
I just thought of that too, but I don't know. The Iron Monkey.
That's still pretty classic.
Man, that guy from Iron Monkey was he was kick-ass.
Yeah. What'd you think of Kick-Ass himself?
Ass kick.
He was okay.
Nothing impressive.
Not really.
But his heart was in the right place.
I guess so. I don't know. I didn't really form any attachment to him during the film.
Really?
Not
Even though he's
really.
our main point of view character?
Yeah. I don't know.
Okay. What'd you think of Big Daddy, played by the always lovely Nick Cage?
He was good. I liked him.
He's always good.
Yeah,
he
he
always
is.
commits. Even in the horrible films, I feel like he's always given it 110%.
Yeah. I mean, he was definitely channeling Adam West there.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah.
Just
TV Batman.
Especially when he was masked up as Big Daddy.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Otherwise, he was just like wholesome dad.
Or goofy dad. Yeah.
I don't know, wholesome. He shot his daughter when they were first introduced.
That's true.
I mean, just the way he would like talk and his mannerisms.
Child.
That's true.
I'm going to start
Yeah.
calling you children child.
No, you're not.
Yeah. Yeah, he was doing some weird things with his voice. Like especially there at the end. That scene in when they're like live streaming, he is just like howling out commands to her.
Yeah.
I didn't even hear what he was saying.
Yeah, you could barely understand what he's saying, but because he's what is he doing? Like a New Orleans Cajun drawl or
It
something?
sounded like.
It was like out of nowhere too.
Listen, don't question the method. I mean, Nicolas Cage is one of our finest actors.
Yes.
That's
This
all.
is the method.
This is the method. Mm-hmm. What did you think on the rewatch? We haven't seen this in a long time.
This is probably the first time I've seen it from beginning to end since we saw it in the theater all those years
I feel
ago.
like I've caught it a couple of times.
I've seen chunks of it,
but not
I
not
never
from
sat
start to
through it,
finish.
and it still holds up. It's still
so
fun.
good. Hats off, Matthew Vaughn.
I did like the main point of view character. I thought Dave was a great character. He had interesting motivation. He was a guy who just inspired by heroes, wanted to do good, wondered why nobody did it in the real world, and
Right.
yeah, that's the reason why is because you're gonna get your butt kicked real bad, but he did it anyway.
Yeah.
And got some internet fame
And a girl.
and a girl out of it. Yeah, that's why I like this. And then they made that horrible
Let's
sequel
not
where they
discuss
just
it.
destroyed
Let's
everything.
Not discuss it. Don't even. Why'd you
Yeah.
even bring it up?
Wait, what happens in the sequel?
It's terrible.
It's just
I want to hear about it. I'm not going to watch it.
I think I've blocked it out. I couldn't tell you, but they bring back most of the characters.
his girlfriend instantly in the first 5 minutes is cheating on him. I don't know if they were trying to set up some sort of romance between him and Hit Girl in that.
Ew.
I mean, she was older by then, but still.
That's
icky.
still gross. He knew her when she was that young.
Yeah,
Disgusting.
it was like vulgarity for the sake of vulgarity.
Yeah. I don't remember a
the
thing
Red
about it.
Mist changed his name to something so stupid. I can't even repeat it.
Orange monkey.
I mean, the only thing that was interesting was Jim Carrey was in it, and he was he was fairly unrecognizable in that role. He had some prosthetics on his face.
Stars and Stripes. Or something.
I forgot what his name was, but I just remember I think he said that he watched it afterwards and he was so horrified by it that he refused to do press for it.
I mean, he's not wrong.
Yeah,
it was dreadful. I think you and I don't even remember. I think we saw it on cable, right? We certainly didn't go to the theater.
No, we
to
did
see
not.
it.
We didn't go to the theater. Yeah, it was just straight up trash, and I think it was based that maybe they were being a little bit more truer to the comic, which the comic made a sequel to Kick-Ass, and it had all of those elements in it. And yeah, one other thing, Mark Millar, he writes interesting stories, but he goes a little too far, and it's easy to understand why people adapt his work and change it so much. Because if you stayed true to if you stayed true to the actual source material, like even in Wanted, it just wouldn't work. Nobody would be able to enjoy that character.
Yeah.
I mean, Kick-Ass wasn't as bad, like the first one, wasn't it, as far as like an adaptation goes, wasn't that different, but yeah, that second one was just straight garbage.
Trash. It was a cash
This one
grab.
was excellent, and I love the way they ended it.
Yeah,
He
and it's
changed
gonna
his
be
name to that.
Yes.
That's dumb. Why would he do that?
Because he was doing that to people that he was attacking.
Really?
Yeah. It was so low brow.
Yeah, I
Vulgarity
remember
for
that, yeah.
vulgarity's sake.
Wait, what was it?
Just garbage.
What was
Just
it?
garbage. Don't worry about it.
I want to know.
We'll tell you later.
You
What
can
was
look,
it?
Olivia, look on Google.
I'll have my phone.
Then you can wait until later.
Oh,
I already
Bro.
exited out. I don't want to look it up
Oh yeah, he was Colonel Stars and Stripes. I didn't.
What did you think?
I loved it the first time we saw it, and I still love it. I think this is a very, very strong piece. It's kind of an interesting, like, intersection of so many different genres. It's definitely like a superhero movie. It's sort of a coming of age because Dave's character has growth, and I love this. I mean, he's not perfect, obviously, but I loved his journey and how, even though he's very much responsible for what happens to Big Daddy, he kind of doesn't leave Hit Girl.
No, he's a very responsible kid. Like you could see, this is a kid who was highly influenced by superhero comics.
Right. Right. And he very much wants to do the right thing.
There's something. I mean, people may look down their nose at the genre or whatever, but like classic superhero comics, like Spider-Man and Captain America and stuff like that. Those are the legends that kids like me grew up with, and that's what we viewed. That's what a good guy does. A good guy does what he does because it's the right thing to do. And that's what he felt like when he was standing in that parking lot with his friends, and he saw him and his friend were like mugged by those two kids, and he looked up at the window, and the guy was just staring down at them.
And then
he just closed the curtains.
And that was a thing that he repeated more than once. Like, why do people just watch and not help?
So I mean, I'm not saying I was ever inspired to go out in the streets and dispense vigilante justice. I would never want to do that or wear a costume. But you could see that this was something that helped mold his personality. He was a good kid. He was a genuinely good kid. Yeah. There was never any sort of tainting of his character, which was nice.
What did you think of the Chris character played by McLovin? I'm not even going to say his real name.
You just told me this.
I'm trying to keep it clean for the podcast.
That was literally going to get cut out anyways.
All right. Christopher Mintz-Plasse. What's his?
Yeah, I think that's his
Christopher
name.
Mintz-Plasse?
Yeah.
I thought his character was great too. He wants to prove himself in the eyes of his dad. He's probably smarter than all of his dad's goons.
Yeah.
And he actually does come up with all the plans that legitimately work. I mean, the two plans that he came up with would have produced result. The first time, obviously, something happens, but even then, he still had the forethought to do something which provided them with the information that they needed. Yeah, they're the bad guys, but still, he's the smart guy. He was a smart kid, and
yeah.
Plus,
I mean, his dad's Goomba was putting the guy in the microwave. And not getting
not realizing that he would explode.
Yeah, I heard you laughing.
People exploding. Yeah, that's always good.
Terrible.
But you could sort of see he didn't want anything bad to happen to Kick-Ass initially, but he's sort of, all right, I got to choose between Kick-Ass and my dad. I'm going to choose my dad. And
even though my dad's a piece of shit.
Even though my dad's just complete scum. But yeah, his character's good. I don't think there was any really wasted characters in this movie.
Yeah.
They all served a purpose. Yeah. Even his two goofy friends. Big Daddy was great. Hit Girl was great.
Yeah.
Even I would guess you'd call them the hero goons of Mark Strong had personality to them.
Yeah, yeah. I agree. I don't think anything is wasted here. I think it's a killer script. And really great fight sequences, really nicely shot. The costume in here is
Matthew
fantastic.
Vaughn makes pretty films.
Yeah. We still got to watch that Argyle. Although I've heard nothing but bad things about it.
Absolute trash.
Yeah. But I'd still want to see it.
Yeah.
I'd still want to see it.
I'd watch it just to see how bad it actually is. Sometimes things get blown out of proportion.
I don't think in this case. I haven't heard anything good about it.
It'll be interesting to see.
Yeah. Think it'll be as good or as bad as Madam Web.
I imagine it'll have better special effects. The special effects in Madam Web were atrocious.
Although I did see a sequence on YouTube where the special effects were pretty bad. They cut some corners there.
Oh, really?
Which is weird for a Matthew Vaughn picture.
I feel like most films that are heavy in special effects nowadays, they don't look as nice as they did a couple of years ago because they're just overworking the
VX houses.
The VX houses, yeah.
Yeah. Olive G, scale of 1 to 10, what would you give this film?
Probably like a 7.
7. That's good.
7.5.
7.5, even better.
Get a little bonus.
GG.
I was gonna say 7.
7. What say you?
I'd give this an 8. I like this movie.
I would give it the number of your favorite film, 8.5.
God. Silly joke.
You love Fellini. Don't act like you don't.
All right, moving on.
All right, so this is going to be AaronTaylor-Johnson weekend. We're going to pair this with Craven. Can't wait to see that.
I just farted.
Is that what you feel like doing whenever you hear the movie Craven is about to be watched?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, this is superhero weekend, superhero / AaronTaylor-Johnson weekend. It's interesting that he did that all those years ago and now did this other film.
These money. I'm sure he got paid a lot more for Craven than he did for Kick-Ass.
Oh, for sure.
Kick-Ass, he was pretty much unknown.
Yeah. But he was great in it.
He was great, yeah.
Yeah,
he's
I
a good
really
actor. I think most things that I've seen him in, I've liked him in.
Yeah, same. All right, so again, this is 2010's Kick-Ass from Mark Millar's comic and directed by Matthew Vaughn with a script from Matthew Vaughn and Jane Goldman. This you can find on Plex, which is where we saw it. What is that? Moviesphere by Lionsgate? That's interesting.
Everybody's got their own streaming service
Oh my God,
now.
there's way too many. Yeah. And to buy rent on Prime Video. Again, do yourself a favor if you have not. Check out Kick-Ass from 2010, rated R for a reason. This is not for small children. There's a lot of cussing and exaggerated violence in here. It clocks in at 1 hour and 57 minutes. And with that, we will bid you all a
Good night.
Good night.
good night.